Good morning. It is Wednesday.
Wednesday already.
Yes.
Time flies.
You notice I stopped that because I forgot what the date was. October 9th. And that means it's time for This Week in Geek. I'm your host, Paul.
This is Aaron.
All right. And let's dive right into it. Again, it looks like it's going to be another big week.
It is. A lot of great stuff coming out. You know, we have some really cool stuff like Spawn 301.
Yes, history making.
Yes.
Guinness World Record.
I saw that, and, you know, it's very cool that McFarlane decided to do the Homage at 300. Actually, let me start back. Homage at 298, Homage 299, Homage 300, and now he's at 301. I mean, that's just, yeah, it's fantastic. He's literally, in my opinion, saying thank you for what Marvel did, bringing him on.
Yeah,
for
giving him his shot.
Exactly. So, really excited about that. And then we have, of course, wrapping up of Powers of X.
Yes, and I heard big things spun out of that.
Yeah, so, it's really exciting. They announced that coming this February, Wolverine #1. So Wolverine's coming back again. It's going to be in the aftermath of everything that's happening here. So, he's going to be a protectorate, and he's going to have some really... I want to say Wolverine's usually that guy that goes out and he's a lone wolf, if you will. He's going to be really protecting his people this time around, and so far there hasn't been an official preview, but the storytelling of it, who's writing it, it looks really good. So come February, definitely check that out.
Yeah. I don't know what that was. We'll acknowledge it because that was loud and we did that pause again. That was something got smacked over on that side of the table, but it happens all the time. Also, Doctor Doom #1. Is this his first time having his own series, or have they done it before? Well, technically they did the infamous Iron Man, so he was in his own series then too.
He was there. They did do a Doom, which was a miniseries that came out, I believe, in the late 90s, and that focused on, whereas Doom in Latvia, how he was the protectorate of that, and there was a void, and he was getting back to his roots and his power, and literally being a people person, a man of the people.
Which is not something you see from Doom.
Typically not, no. He's usually, I'm going to do what I want, all for me kind of scenarios.
Kind of a self-centered dick.
He really is. He's all about me.
I recognize my own, that's why.
Oh, I mean, you put a mirror up and...
Right, except the scars.
And the cape.
I have a cape.
We don't want to know about your cape.
The last pick I came up with, at least, I don't know what else you're going to throw in, is Joker / Harley Criminal Sanity #1. This is kind of like an Elseworlds thing, isn't it? I
believe that's where they're not labeling it Elseworlds, but it looks as if they're going that route.
Right. Definitely like alternate reality, because isn't she like a criminal profiler or something?
Exactly correct.
Okay.
And that actually falls right in line with what I had picked out, which is going to be a new Batman, which is going to be the world's greatest detective must try to inhabit the mind of a murder victim to solve a case without filling the empty grave next to those of his parents. Can Batman imagine the life of a corpse with a half-eaten face without dying themselves? Done by Warren Ellis, Brian Hitch, and those guys do amazing writing, and it looks fantastic. It looks like another good Batman story. Not, I say Elseworlds, but it goes along the same lines. It looks like they're doing stories that are taking the characters kind of outside of their normality, if you will. So another one that I think would be a good pickup.
Oh, definitely. I'm not a Batman guy, and I'm very interested just because of the creative team on it.
Yeah, it does. With those guys, it's going to be good artwork, good storytelling across the board.
Without a doubt.
Let's see, and I do want to say that this week was really fun. Coming up to this week and going through specifically the Force Friday stuff that we were talking about. I was telling Paul about it, and pretty much, we're going to combine the toy box aspect and that little story to tell you.
Oh yeah, basically the entire Star Wars segment is going to be about the adventures of one of us who went out hunting. Spoiler alert: it wasn't me. I went to work.
I took the day off.
And now I don't even think I told you this, but I was up Thursday night. Okay. It was like 11:25, and I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, God, do I just drive out to Walmart now? I'm like,
so close.
I was like, I bet Aaron's out, and then I was just like, you know what? No, I've got to work in the morning. I'm going to bed. But it didn't take me long. It was 7:30, and I was already texting you, asking you what your updates were.
Yep, I was up at 6, and it was funny because I unfortunately had to work a double, and so I was exhausted. So I did not make it out at the 12:01 aspect of things. A friend of mine, Dylan, did go out, and a lot of places didn't. Really, it was just Walmart that is open.
Yeah, I heard that was they completely dropped the ball on it. They went more for the Frozen stuff than they did.
Yeah,
Star Wars.
It was so weird because some of the local stores got Frozen pallets, some of the stores got the Star Wars stuff, and it was kind of hit or miss. Around here, the Targets normally that opened at 8 actually opened at 7.
Oh.
So I was out and about, and I knew that I was going to be meeting my friends in Cicero for the opening of the Target, and that Target was Clay, and the Target was supposed to open at 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'll stop into Walmart real quick. So on the way, stop into Walmart, walk in there. They had a couple things already had been picked over, believe it or not, by another friend of mine who stopped there 2 hours before me and had actually picked stuff up. So Alan, way to go on that. So I'm at the light and I'm looking, and I see a ton of cars at Target. I'm like, that's weird. So I pull in, and I get there, and they're open at 7 o'clock. And
unannounced,
completely
everything
announced.
We saw everywhere said 8 a.m.
Yeah. So, I get in there, and I kind of I wouldn't say run, but power walk through, and, I get there, and the frazzled Target employees are trying to get things out. And there's a couple, I'm a firm believer that patience is a virtue. And, as much as I want to grab the things, I don't want to ruin someone's day, and I don't want to also step on someone else's toes. I do generally have that respect in front of me. So, I'm talking to an employee, and we're going through, and this gentleman, and I say gentleman very sarcastically, decides to walk between me and an employee, push me out of the way, reach up to the peg where they were putting these, the white packages of the Black Series figures, which were like a chase, and just genuinely just start taking them down. And I'm looking like, what the heck is going on here?
While the guy's stocking the
shelf, and he's taking things while me and another person are patiently waiting,
Right.
The chrome packages, were placed while he was looking, and so I go and he grabs the bunch of the figures from the white ones. I'm like, whatever, okay. Well, the chrome figures are there, so I go and I grab the chrome figures, and it was the carbonized, excuse me. And he goes to grab the last one there, and I grab it, and he looks at me, and he gives me like a scowl, and I'm like, I got this for my buddy, whatever. But then, the guy has the nerve to basically reach in and take stuff. And push us, physically push us, move us around, because he doesn't think that we should have so many, and we should only have the one per person and whatnot. And it became a nightmare. And unfortunately, people really took this to another level. And the thing about it is that this person got so much of this stuff that, they have a local store. he made it very apparent, with his comments, and it's very frustrating because a lot of people, us that went out there to just get for the excitement and all that, they may not have had the best experience, and
right.
And I'm leaving out, and so you guys know, I'm leaving out some of the other stuff that happened, some words that were exchanged, but all in all, it was it was fun because I got to see other people and talk and interchange, but there was a couple few that the scalpers out there, and the ones that really ruined it. Because they were more interested in buying the stuff and throwing it on eBay. And it really took away from a lot of the enjoyment because people that are completionists wanted to get the full set. They couldn't. And, all in all, a good time. I got almost everything I wanted. My credit card was screaming at me. But that's okay because, I'm working and, I'll pay it off eventually. So I got pretty much everything. But really, I feel as if a lot of the stores weren't as prepared as they could have been. But also, we were lacking Toys R Us. Because I remember Toys R Us, you stood in line at 12. They had a big thing. You got a free shirt or a poster or a figure. And unfortunately, the big box stores, they have minimum wage people trying to put this stuff out. We look like crazy people running through the store, grabbing this plastic rack. So, it even got to the point where some of the employees were like, why are you buying dolls? Like, what is this? So, all in all, a great time. Force Friday definitely was exciting because the carbonized figures really were great at the $24.99 price point. And then GameStop had $26.99. A real nice shiny box. Those were very surprising. I did end up getting those. The figure detail on the rest of them were really cool. A lot of awesome pops. And just all in all, a lot of great Star Wars stuff. I know a lot of people that may be listening to this and may be looking about trying to find stuff. Unfortunately, because of Force Friday, there were a lot of people that went out and bought everything. So you go to a shop right now and the shelves are bare again.
Yes.
It is unfortunately just a cycle. They'll get more in, but all in all, definitely, I'm going to post some pictures up on Facebook on part of my haul. Anyone listening, that had some great time or whatever, please share your pictures, share your experience, because as we can learn more, so can the shops, as the Think Geek and the local comic shops. They learn how people are looking for figures, looking for stuff, and the atmosphere of that. So, long-winded, but that was my experience.
Nice, and you definitely chopped it up. You told me way more off mic.
Yeah, I did.
He had a good time, even though there were some crazies in there. But I am hearing reports that some of the carbonized figures, there's paint flaking.
Yes. Unfortunately, the figures themselves, the new shiny aspect of it, I guess the quality control, because it was, I guess, rushed. Mm-hmm. A lot of chipping, flaking, and the other sad thing is that as much as Hasbro usually sticks behind their stuff, the paint apps are not really standing behind that. If a figure has a broken arm or something, I know that people have called and they'll send a random figure as a courtesy. But here, talking from experience, at this point, it's hit or miss. And right. Quality control was not all there for a lot of the figures. Specifically, the Mandalorian, he has a belt that stretches on its back. And they used a ball-jointed torso, and this piece is supposed to stretch, and it's snapping on like every single one because you're trying to put the gun on the back, and you're trying to adjust them, and it's snapping, and I mean it's a piece of plastic, so
that's too bad.
It is, but in terms of wrapping up the Black Series, right now we have the Chewbacca as well as C-3PO 2-pack on Amazon.
It's out now?
It just went live.
Nice.
For pre-order, as well as...
I forgot about that one. That one wasn't on my list here either.
Yeah, okay. See, I got some,
look at that.
I got one on here. Beat ya. Anyway, it looks really good. Again, getting another Chewie figure, but they did do some more different paint apps on this, and the C-3PO looks freaking amazing. So
And all the limbs are removable?
all the limbs, yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's not like where they just unplug.
Right.
It actually, they painted detail of like wires and like gearage.
That's awesome.
So it definitely, is an interesting figure, and I ordered it already today.
What's the price point on that one?
That one was $39.99.
That's fair for a 2-pack.
For a 2-pack, yeah.
That's not bad. Now, while we're talking figures still, we just had New York Comic Con.
We did.
We did not attend. We should have.
I wish we did.
Right, me too. But we heard a lot of reveals coming out of that for both
gosh.
Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series.
Some really
there's a
big
ton of
stuff.
Star Wars stuff, but I just focused on Black Series.
I don't blame you. I mean, it's exciting for some of the stuff that's coming out. My favorite, that Stanley.
Yes. Oh my God.
That looks so good.
I can't wait. And you already pre-ordered that as well, right?
I did.
At Target.
Yeah, that literally popped up. I saw that. I pre-ordered it. Now my dad really isn't into figures, but he got me into comic book collecting, and I get a message from him. I mean, out of the blue, and it's like, oh my God, did you see this? Oh, this would look great next to ... And I was like, Dad, what is ... He goes, the Stanley Funko Pops you got me. And I'm like, oh crap, I did get you those. I'm like, okay. I'm like, yep, they would look cool. And I told him, guess what? And he goes, what? I go, I pre-ordered it already. He goes, what? No way. I'm like, I got 2 of them coming. He goes,
nice.
No! He goes, tell me how much money I owe you. And I'm like, don't worry about it, Dad. It doesn't come out until June 2020. Right. So by that time, don't worry about it.
Right. And that was a little more expensive than regular Marvel Legends figure, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was like, it was only a couple bucks more, but it wasn't too bad.
Good. And the packaging looks great on that thing.
It looks so, a lot of people are like, why does he have a chocolate bar? It's not a chocolate bar. It's a chessboard.
Yeah. It does look like a big chocolate bar.
It does, though, yeah.
Because if you haven't seen the pictures of this, it's going to be Stan Lee from his appearance in Avengers.
Yes.
The shield's just a fun thing they did that has his signature across it.
His actual signature across it, yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
But that's one I'll probably be hunting down, because I heard that it's Target exclusive at first, and then it's going to be everywhere.
Yes. Yeah.
So it will probably still be a hard one to get.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of people getting it for just the Stan Lee aspect of things,
yes.
But also for, the figure, because the first time they did a Stan Lee figure, it's a $60 to $70 figure already.
Yeah, and that was not a good figure.
No, it was really poor.
No, it was literally a Stan Lee head on a Spider-Man body.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, no. This is our first real legit Stan Lee action figure.
It is.
So, that's but since we're on Marvel now, we might as well go with the rest of that stuff before we go back into Star Wars. We got the announcement of the rest of the Fantastic Four wave for Marvel Legends. We're going to have the 4 all in their current costumes, right?
Current costumes, they did something a little bit different this time around, where Johnny Blaze, is Storm. Oh, jeez.
Come on, man.
Whew. This beer.
You haven't even had one yet.
I know.
Wow.
Jeez, what's happening? Johnny has just smaller accents of the fire.
Right. He is not flamed on.
Not completely. Sue has, again, a little bit of, force aspect, and
with a really cool accessory. Like, she has like an invisible force shield.
It's like a shield, yeah. So it does look really cool.
And longer hair, I noticed.
Yeah,
the head sculpt on this one, she's longer hair.
Yes, they made her look like, they made her more mature, it looks like, in this one.
Well, it makes sense that it's supposed to be the modern versions.
Yes.
Because Reed has the beard.
Reed has the beard, and
stretchy fingers.
That's that's cool.
Creepy.
I like it. It's creepy, but I like it because the one they did for the Walgreens exclusive, it was just weird with just one weird
long
arm. Yeah, and
but came with the ultimate nullifier.
It did,
which most people will promptly lose.
I'm pretty sure it's already lost. And didn't Sue come with the robot?
Herbie, yes.
Yeah, I actually found him this weekend when I was cleaning.
Nice.
I was trying to make heads or tails of my man room, with my man toys, as my significant other likes to call it, and he decided he wanted to perform an earthquake test.
Oh no!
Yeah, he thought it was hilarious. Couple beers in, earthquake test.
Yeah.
I leave it to say I was not a happy camper.
There weren't no aftershocks, like right into his jaw or anything?
No, but I promptly, when he ran out for beer, I promptly locked all the doors and made him wait outside for a little bit.
That's awesome.
And if you remember, it was raining, so...
Oh yeah, well that's what he gets.
But yeah, and then, thing again is, big and bulky. It doesn't look as if they changed too much.
Paint apps from the looks at it.
That's about it, yeah.
And you know what? That's okay though, because to get the Walgreens one is like $100 figure.
And it weighs literally like 6 pounds.
Right, be a toddler with it.
Yeah.
And then to round that off, they're coming out with a classic Doctor Doom.
Yep.
And She-Hulk, which we both saw from San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes. Yeah.
Not that we were there, but
no.
Again, that's never going to happen. But we don't know what the Build-A-Figure is for this one.
They didn't announce it. They are keeping it highly under wraps. There are rumblings, and from the people that on Facebook groups and all that, they're thinking it's going to be possibly a Spider-Hulk, which doesn't exactly...
No, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, but they're looking at a Spider-Hulk, or they're looking at doing a Gray Hulk, like a regular Gray Hulk. But they did a Gray Hulk in the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive.
Right.
So,
no, that hasn't come around yet. That's a European exclusive right now.
Okay.
San Diego was the weird 90s looking Green Hulk that looked like he had a disease or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the one that was released from Mexico.
The Mexico thing, and now it's a European. It is coming. It will be here, available at some point here in the States. But that looks really cool.
That is a good figure, because we don't have a Gray Hulk as of yet.
Right. So, not a modern one anyway.
No. So the idea that be a Build-A-Figure, I don't think that would be either. So a lot of speculations out there, but I'm curious to see what they come up with.
Yeah, I'd like to see what's going to happen with that. But one that we know what the Build-A-Figure is Strong Guy, and we found out more of the figures that are going to be in that wave.
Yes.
And I am super excited about some of these. First we have Deadpool in his blue X-Men costume, which is just meh to me.
Yes, yeah.
I understand what they did there, and I think it's really clever.
Yeah.
Because one of the other ones in there is Warpath. And the Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack years ago was Warpath with blue Deadpool. But Warpath in his classic costume from the beginning of X-Force.
Yep.
We're also getting Sunspot in his X-Force costume, so that means we're literally like one member away from completing the original X-Force.
Yes, yeah.
So, but we also don't know who the rest of the characters in the Strong Guy wave are going to be, so we could finish the team off. But
I think I feel as if they're going that route. I really do.
I agree, but at the same time, I don't buy it, because why would they want to be able to finish off a team over 2 waves?
True.
Well, 3 waves technically, because the Deadpool wave is the one that started it.
Yeah.
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 So, and then you already stole my thunder on the Stan Lee thing, so I'm done with the Marvel Legends. Do you want to go over the Black Series releases? Not releases, reveals from New York?
Yeah, it looks like some really great stuff. First of all, the Jet Trooper. The Jet Trooper is out currently as a carbonized version, Walmart exclusive. Okay. So what they did with this was the opalescence paint that is on this one, they did away with. So it's just a standard white. So that's going to be coming out. The Rise of Skywalker is really pushing a lot of the figures, and they're trying to complete the cycle. With the movie itself is completing a cycle.
Right.
They're doing that with a lot of the figures. So we're going to be getting a Force Spirit Yoda, which is going to be awesome, because they're going to use that clearish plastic like they did with Obi-Wan.
Clearish, bluish, whatever. Yeah.
With the semi-transparent, cloak and whatnot. So that's going to be great. We're finally going to get a Luke Skywalker in the black outfit, from the Jabba's palace.
But we had one before, right? Because I have that in my collection. Just the face is really horrible in it.
I thought that was 3 1/4. Do we have? I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Yeah, I know we do. It's upstairs. But I think it might have been geared more towards the end of Jedi because it came with the chest piece that you could take off. They had the flap pulled back on his suit.
Are you?
Yeah, I'll show you when we're done recording. It exists. Trust me, I own it.
I'm sure it does. Again, my brain is not working right now. But I probably have it in a tucker tote somewhere.
Right.
So I'm thinking about what is displayed currently that I had to dust and clean this weekend.
But that Luke, we're also getting the cloak, right?
Yeah.
And probably a much better head sculpt this time.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. They did a great job on the face. The cloak is nice. The hood lays flat. They did a real good job on this one, so I'm really excited for that. That's going to be a Walmart exclusive, which again is going to be hard to get because we never know when Walmart's going to put the stuff out.
Yeah.
IG-11 looks awesome and just went live today on Best Buy, as a matter of fact, for pre-order.
Really?
Yep. And
wow,
I was actually going to show you. They are stepping up their game big time with this.
Wow.
Best Buy is really throwing their hat in the realm, trying to get in there and trying to, be I don't want to say they want to be a toy retailer, but, they're looking at doing some really cool exclusives. They had a Mandalorian ATST.
I saw that for the 3 3/4 inch.
Yeah,
right?
Yep. So that just came out on Force Friday, and that, each store got 2 of them, and then they were gone. So, and some stores didn't even get them or know they had them because they were just sitting in boxes. And Best Buy's electronics store, not a toy store, so it's not a priority for them.
Right. They don't worry about street dates for anything other than movies.
Yeah.
And video games, I guess.
And video games. Yeah. So, that's cool for Best Buy. And then we have the Clone Commander Fox, which I just picked up actually on Friday. I got 2 of those from GameStop. I pre-ordered it. They did a great job with this, and that's really finishing up our, our commander line. We have Gree, Fox, Wolf.
Nice.
Cody. Cody. Mm-hmm. So they really are doing a good job on these, and the soft goods, such as the epaulettes and the skirts. I say skirts. I know they're not called skirts, but the half skirts that are on there.
Right.
They did a real good job on. So that's what's coming out, and what so far has been released. That was released, and there always is more. Of course, the Rise of Skywalker has 4 new figures as well coming out.
Oh, I missed a bunch of those, didn't I? That they announced. Because that more announcements came out like today, didn't they?
Yes. So there's 4 more figures that are going to be coming out. And they're going to be focusing on the newer characters that are in this movie.
And a couple more from The Mandalorian, I believe.
Yes, correct. There's, I want to say 2 more from 1 more from Mandalorian, maybe 2 more from Mandalorian, and then the rest are Skywalker.
Right. I know there's definitely one. It's
a girl.
Gina Carano's character, Cara Dune.
Yes. So the definitely a lot of cool stuff coming out. So between Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series, my credit card and my bank account is not
just
happy
up in
with
flames.
Me. It's just on fire permanently.
All right. I think that about does it for toys, right?
Yeah, that
now.
Wraps it. I think so.
All right. So then let's wrap this up with what are you reading?
So
this week.
This week, really excited. We have the next issue of the Miles Morales, Absolute Carnage. We have the next installment of Absolute Carnage Scream. And, of course, I talked about the Batman and the Doom that's coming out. So those are the main ones that I'm focusing on right now that really look good. Of course, as always, Spider-Man coming out is going to have an Absolute Carnage. And they're labeling it Spider-Man AC, which anything AC is associated with that. So, that storyline is just absolutely fantastic. They are nailing it, and they have people locked in. Let me tell you that the variants from the Hulk issue, the Absolute Hulk, it broke records.
No kidding.
I mean, the 1 in 25s, typically $25-$30. Upwards of $70 to $80 for a 1 in 25.
Wow.
Oh yeah. And they didn't do variant covers on it. They just did a 1 cover, and then they did the ratio variant, and they also did a 1 in 100, I believe, and that's just under 200.
Jeez.
So a lot of those sold. Again, everything peaks and drops, but still very impressive because the artwork was just so kick-ass. Story was kick-ass, and I'm really excited if anyone who read that, you know, the idea that they're all within the brain, the head space, if you will. You know, you have Banner, you have Hulk, you have, you know, you have the bad Hulk, you have the good Hulk, you have all these different creatures, and then there's a black background. And that black background is the symbiote.
That's
and
awesome.
then he's there interjecting why he is there. So it's it's very cool. So that's pretty much what I'm reading this week. What about you?
All right, the only other one that I need to touch on is Contagion #2. This is a weekly event, so it's going to be 5 weeks in a row you're going to hear me talk about this.
Okay.
But basically everything else you touched on is things I'm looking at. I may even pick up Spawn 301 this week.
I'm going to get the 301, the homage cover.
Nice.
301, just because, you know, I got 298, 299, 300, and 301, you know, the, you know, Spider-Man throwbacks. So
that's cool.
I have those, so I'm definitely picking those up. But there are upwards of 7 different covers.
That's insane.
Again. And, I mean, I feel bad for some of the local comic shops because they don't know what people are going to want.
Right.
And again, the ratio variants on here are and still are doing well. So, you know, it did break, this 300 broke all the records of ordering from Diamond in the history of any
No
comics.
kidding.
This was the #1 most ordered book and then reordered book in the history that Diamond has been. Now, I'm not going to go back to, you know, 15 years ago, but as Diamond, you know, which is the distributor, has been keeping records of,
Right.
they stated that this was the book. So
Nice.
it was pretty cool.
Very cool.
So yeah, I think we nailed everything.
We did. So I think it's time to wrap up here. We have a local con this coming weekend.
We do.
That's one put on by Teddy Haynes.
Yes.
I'm going to call it Syracuse PowerCon because I don't know what name he's going with for this one.
Whatever's on the top of his head.
Right. But if anyone's out and about, I'm definitely going to be there. Most likely bringing the mini minions with me. They will both be in costume, I'm sure.
Of course.
So, you know, step out, say hi. We're not setting up, recording, anything like that. I'm just going to be wandering the con floor. Yeah. If the last pieces of my Halloween costume come in, maybe I'll be in costume as well. I don't know. We'll have to see about that. I know he's got some cool guests coming. Joe Jusko.
Yes.
Legendary Marvel artist. Legendary inker from like the OG days.
OG days.
Joe
Kirby Sinnott days, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's a great guy too. I mean,
Yeah,
he will,
super nice guy.
He will talk. I mean, he will talk to you until you are bored of the conversation.
Right, until you're looking for a way out.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you know, he also has some great prints. Sometimes, you know, with him typically, I don't want to say sometimes, but he always does. And just some, you know, it looks like, you know, in terms of the local cons, definitely, you know, a step up than the normal stuff that's been going on around here. So really excited to see, you know, people come out, people dress up, and you know, support, you know, not only, you know, Teddy and his shows, but your local comic shops that are typically going to be there, you know, showcasing their wares. So
right. Yeah.
definitely.
Lots of cool little vendors. I know for a fact there's gonna be one major Marvel Legends vendor that's gonna be there. So I'll have to stop and say hi to him. Yes, Joey, I'm talking about you. But anyway, I think that's going to about wrap our things up.
Cheers, y'all. Thanks so much.
This has been a GeekPod Network production. Show notes and links to our social media can be found on our webpage, www.geekpod.com. That's G33kpod.com. Want to help us out? Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. Reviews really help keep us on the charts. Thanks, guys, and see you next time.